Hey guys, welcome to our new video. We are back with yet again another interesting video for you. And this time we will be going to create our own PHP playground. It means you will have the option to write some PHP code and see the output instantly just after one click of the button. So this will be interesting for you if you want to learn PHP and if you want some testing environment for PHP. Well, I won't suggest you to make it live in one of your servers because it may have some issues regarding security and everything. But this is very good project for someone who wants to learn PHP, and he can host it locally in his website to test some simple PHP codes. Okay, so let's get going there. I will start with the HTML. I will call it PHP playground. And you already know, if you want the access of the source code, I have provided a link in the video description below. You can go and check out the source code, right? So let me do one thing. We will be going to use Bootstrap and Font Awesome. So I'll have to include those CSS here. I'll be using the CDN link. Okay, so now I can use the classes. Let me make the body class as busy light. Let's see if something changes here. I don't know. Let's add some more classes and then we can check. I'll make a navbar with class navbar, navbar expand LG, navbar dark, BG primary, margin button 4. And inside it, I'll have a container. These all are the classes provided by Bootstrap. And it will have a span of navbar brand where I'll show the icon, the logo. Okay, I'll be using Font Awesome for this one. FA brands, FA PHP. Okay, I'll show the icon of PHP and I will say PHP playground. Let's see. Pretty good, right? Well, this icon works really nice. Now let me add some more here. What I need, maybe font size of 4. Okay, and margin end of probably 2. Okay, not bad. Okay, we're done with the nav section. Now let's move on to the main section. It will also be a container with margin button probably 4. And I'll make a row here. Inside row there will obviously be some col. I'll go with col MD6 and margin button 4. Let me add margin button for this one as well. If I don't think it's needed, I'll remove it later on. Okay, so this is one col 6 and I also need another col 6. This is for the code and this is for the preview. Let's see. Yeah, fine. This is code, this is preview. Okay. So what I will do here is I'll create a card with height of 100. And inside card, I'll obviously have a card header. And after that, I will have card body. Inside header, what I can write? Maybe code editor. And inside card body, the code. Let's see. Okay, this is what I wanted. And let me make some changes here. I'll go with background white. Okay, and not a code editor directly. I'll add some more classes here. Class equals dflex, display flex, line items center. I will use another icon here. FAS, FA code, margin end 2, and span class is equals to font weight bold, and then code editor. This should look good. Okay, this is better. Now for the card body, I will need a text area. Okay, with class font control, border 0, I don't need border, and rounded 0. Let's see. Okay, we have the text area here. I will give some inline CSS as well. Resize none. Height of probably 400 px. I can change it later on if required. Font family is monospace. And I will also provide it an ID of maybe code editor. This should be enough. Let's see. Yeah, this is good. I can write code here. Fine. I won't write this. I will write something like this, but it won't work now. And for the preview one, let's design this also. It will also have a card, right? Card with height 100. And inside card there will be, I think I can copy the same one and then change it later on. Okay, this is good. So this will have BG white as well. Nice. This is okay. It will have not code. I'm maybe terminal. Is there something like terminal? Yes, there is. Okay, it's not the code editor. It is the preview, right? Let me call it output. Okay. And maybe I'll need some more thing here. Let me go through it. Okay. Looks like I'll have to add some more here. I need 2 deflex. Okay, let me create it. I have a deflex here, which will have these things. Okay, fine. And this deflex will have align item center, justify content between, and there will be another deflex. Okay, this is good. And this will have icon and output. Let me add loading indicator as well. So I'll give it an ID of loading indicator. Class would be ms2 and denon. It will not be shown by default. It will only be shown while it's loading. And I'll make use of font awesome FA spinner. FA spin text primary. Something like this. Yeah. So what next? After this div is over, I can create another div here, btn group sm, small size, and it will have 2 buttons here, and one will be for raw and another will be for rendered. So it will have class of btn outline secondary. This will have the same classes as well. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, looks cool. This is what I wanted. Okay, that's good. And what next? Maybe type equals button and id equals view raw. This should be enough. By default, raw will be active, and it will also have button and id of view rendered. Something like this. Yeah. To make it work, I need some JavaScript at the end of it. So now I can design this thing. So for this one, I don't need text area. I'll go with pre-tag, and it will have an ID of output raw. Class would be margin button 0. Let me give it inline style, height probably 400 pixel. Overflow Y would be auto. font family would be monospace. This is for the raw output, and for the rendered output, I'll have a div with id is equals to output rendered class margin bottom 0. Style would be similar 400px overflow y auto and display none by default. Okay, we are almost done with the HTML part. Let me remove these paddings. Okay, this is, I guess, from the card body. So what I can do, padding 0. Yeah, I don't know why it's getting some padding here. Maybe because of this one. Cool, this is good. Okay, now we can move on to the HTML section. Sorry, the CSS section, but I need some buttons here to execute this code. Okay, let me add them now. So for this one, I can add it at the last. I'll call it deflex. And inside it, I'll have two button type is equals to button. These are the two buttons. The first would be execute code, and second one can be reset or clear code. For the execute code, I'll have an ID of execute code, class of btn primary. For the clear code, I'll have ID of clear button and class of btn secondary. Let me add icon as well so that it looks better. Class equals fas fa play margin end 2. Nice. And for this one also I need to add an icon which will be not play but trace. Okay, but why am I getting a lot of icons here? Oh, I have not closed the I tag. This is good, but its padding is not good. So let me add it to, this is the row, maybe after the row. Okay, this is good, but these two need some space here also. So I'll add a gap of 2. Okay, so now we're done with the HTML part. Maybe we don't need any custom CSS here. This already looks very good. Now let's jump into the JavaScript section. Let's start with the event. Okay, so document dot add event listener. When the DOM content is loaded, I'll call this function, and inside it I'll execute everything. So I'll have to get some of the elements here. So code editor is document.get element by id code editor. I'll need to catch a few more things here. Sorry. I don't know how many I want, so let me go with one by one. Output raw, and it's in the id output raw. Next would be output rendered. This id is output rendered, and then execute button. This is the same id, I guess. For the clear button, this is the same id. And for this is the clear button. And after clear button, I will probably need loading indicator. I guess this is the id. Then view raw, this is the id. Perhaps view rendered, rendered. This should be the id. I don't need other, I guess. So Let me create the functions now. So I'll create a function, execute code. I need to catch the code first, and code would be code editor dot value, and I'll show the loading indicator dot class list dot remove the none. Let's see if it works. So what I can do, if I click on this, I should have seen the loading indicator, but actually I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Where was the loading indicator? Not here. Not here. Let me see, where was it? Loading indicator. So it was just after output. Here it is. And there is still T none. If I remove it, I can see loading. But why is it not working? Oh, I need to call this function, right? Let me call it. What I can do is execute button dot on. Oh, it's not jQuery. I'm using JavaScript. So event listener, click, then execute code. This is fine. Now I should see the loading icon. Still no. There's some error here. So it doesn't get the execute button. Why? It's execute code or execute button. Let me make it button. There is still some error. The code editor. Is it not the code editor? Code editors. Okay. Now it's working. Okay, we're fine. This is being shown. Now we can move on to the next section. So after we showed the loading icon, what we can do is we can disable the disable the execute button, right? And then I'll do a try catch block. I'll prepare a form data in order to pass it. Form data dot append code will be code, and similarly I'll also pass if it is a AJAX request or not, so that I can track it in the PHP. Okay, and then I'll get the response equals await fetch. So if in order to do it await, I need to make this async function so that I can use await here. So the location would be the same location that we are in right now, and then the parameters would be method would be post request, and body would be form data. Okay, this should work fine. For the result, we'll catch it in result await response dot text. We'll get the response from the AJAX call, the fetch call. And what I will do is output raw dot text content equals result. I'll show the result in output raw. This will show the source code, the code that is received, and in the rendered section I will change it to inner HTML so that we can see the exact output visually. So after try, I need to catch if there is some error. Then what I can do, output raw dot text content would be error failed to execute code, please try again, something like this. I may need this message again, so let me put it in message equals this will be message, and output rendered dot inner HTML would also be message. Fine. Then finally what I will do is loading indicator. I need to show the loading indicator. Class list dot not show, just hide it, then on. and execute button should be enabled. Disabled, false. Let's see. So if I write here echo a, okay, at least I'm getting something. Not bad. So because I have not implemented the response based on the code provided, so it won't work till now. Let me add some more stuffs here. So view raw dot add event listener click. I'll call a function. So what it will do, view raw dot class list dot add active, because it is to be shown right now, and view rendered dot class list dot remove active. Similarly, output raw dot style dot display equals block, and output rendered dot style dot display equals none. The same thing I need to do it for view rendered, and this should be removed, this should be add, this should be none, and this should be block. Let's see if it works. Echo a. Oh, there is some error here. Let's see. I can't see it here. Oh, view rendered. I think the spelling is wrong. View rendered, not this one. Oh, I got the spelling wrong from the start. Where is the view rendered? Oh, this is the correct one, but I used all the incorrect ones. Okay, let's see now. Okay, this should work. Oh, it's the same output. It's working. At least it's working now. Cool. So I can now move on to the next part, and which will be the clear button. So for the clear button dot add event listener click function, what I will do here is code editor dot value should be blank, output raw dot text content should be blank, and output rendered dot inner HTML should be blank. I think that should work. Let's see if I have something here. It will clear everything. If I execute it, there will be something there, and if I clear code, everything will be blank. Okay. Also, what I can do is I always should not click this button. I will need to make it work with some enter key. Then what I can do, code editor dot add event listener, not click, but it should be key down function event. I'll track which key is down. So if e dot event dot control key or e dot meta key and e dot key equals enter. If it is control plus enter, then what I can do, I will prevent the default behavior, e dot prevent default, and then execute code. Okay, this should also work now. If I do control plus enter, I think it's not working. I don't know why. Let's see. There's no error at all. So if I do control enter, it's not working. Let's see what's the issue here. If e dot control key or e dot meta key, that's fine, and e dot key equals enter, should have worked. Code editor, that's fine. Oh, sorry. Okay, leave it. You can make it work. I will see if I have time later on. So we still have not done anything in the PHP. So let me to the actual execution of the PHP code. So for this one, as you know, we have made a AJAX request. I mean, you can call it AJAX. You can call it a fetch request. So what I will do here is I'll check if there is something in post. So I'll say if $_post AJAX, because we have set it to true while sending the request, and $_post AJAX equals to true. Okay, let me go with triple equals to. So the code is $_post code. This is the code, and output would be execute PHP code. I'll create this function, and this will be the output, and I will echo the output and then exit. Before output echo, I may have to add header with content type text plain. So one thing that's remaining is this function. So I have to define this function. My command key is getting in some trouble here. Okay, it's very easy. I'm going to create a temporary file name. It will be files playground. Maybe I'll append current time here, and I'll store that file here. If you don't have write permission in this folder, you have to provide write permission. I've already provided it, so don't need to do it again. And then I'll do file put contents. File name is tmp file name, and data is the code. Then I'll ob start and trial include $tmp file name if it can, and if it can't, it will throw some error, variable error, and I can echo the error. Error would be $e get messages. Not messages, get message. And the output would be ob get clean. I can delete the file now, tmp file name, and then return the output. Let's see, it should work. Let's go with a simple thing. PHP echo hello world. Okay, there's some issue here. Let me see if there is some request or not. Why is not there any request? Let's see. Execute code. Okay, there's no request at all. Why is it so? No JavaScript error as well. Let me go through the request section. Yeah, here it is. So do I have the form data? It's not direct, it's JavaScript. Execute code. So it's not coming here. What if here? Yeah, it's coming here. That's good. What about the code? What I can do here is I can test it with debugger. This will be a better idea. So I'm here, so I can see the code. Yes, I can. What after it? Loading, execute, form data. I can check it stepwise. So loading indicator is on. That's good. Execute button is disabled. That is also good. So I can add more breakpoints here. And if there is some error, let me grab it as well. Okay. Oh, it's error now. Oh, I missed the spelling here. This is the capital D. This is such a silly mistake. I can now disable it. I can clear the breakpoints. Let's see now. Okay, if I do some PHP code here, see, it's working fine in the raw, and for rendered, it's just the A. I don't know why this height is not working. Height 100%. Maybe I need to give height to card body. That should be a better option. Or I can do it from here. Star equals height 400px. And for this card body also, style equals height 400px. Okay, it should be good. Let's see. Go execute. Or this is good. This is also good now. Okay, let me check some complex stuffs now. What if I create a function to show the multiplication table of a number, right? Multiplication of this number. Okay. So what I will do here, I'll create a loop for I equals 1, I is less than or equals to 10, I plus plus. Okay. And what I will show here is equal dollar number multiplied by, let me write static first. So if the number is 5, then what I want here, 5 into 1 equals 5. Let me wrap it in a paragraph tag so that it would be separated in new line. And what I can do here is call this function multiplication of 5, something like this. Okay. In the output, I will see it like this, but in rendered section, you can see, I can see it properly. So maybe if rather than P, I can move it BR tag. This could be better one. Yeah, this is better. So now I'll make it dynamic. So how can I do it? Let me go with double quotation, and 5 would be the number. Let's see. Yeah, 5 is the number, and 1 would be the I. Great. And this 5 would be $num multiplied by $I. Fantastic. So for the 15, I would get the multiplication table of 15. For 100, I'll get the multiplication table of 100. If you want it for 2, or I was already done, 8. See, it's working fine. This, I'm looking at the rendered section. If you want the raw output, you can see it over here. And if you click, let me copy it first. And if you, and if you clear it, the output will be blank, the editor will be blank, everything would be blank. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just for the educational purpose. Please don't host this thing in your server, in live server or production server. You have to make sure that you don't compromise your security, because anyone can come here and execute PHP code. So you have to be very careful about that. But this is very good for your local host. You can run it in localhost and check things and learn something new. So this much for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe us for more interesting and useful videos like this. Cheers, guys.